Welcome to the channel, viewers. Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Thanks for coming by. I want to talk to you about the covert narcissist. Now, you can apply this to the female or the male, it's up to you. Everybody's experience is different, but the same matrix of things will happen. You have to be aware from the start. You have to take notice right from the start what the intensity of the approach of the person that you're now seeing is at the start, how genuine it is. This stage is called the love bomb stage, the honeymoon stage. And even as a young bloke, I realised that people can lose interest in the relationship really quick. They'll stay, they'll keep coming, they'll keep turning up, they like who you are, they know who you are, they're safe with you, everything's in order around you. But they begin to make mess, emotional mess. Now, the thing about mess is, in a relationship, a lot of it never gets cleaned up, and this is what brings the demise in the end. But if you're emotionally intelligent, if you're seriously interested in the health and well-being of the person that you're with, we've got to you're going to do something to rescue people, or police or fire engine. If you're seriously interested in the person that you're with, you'll maintain a passion to see that person at a baseline level content with the way in which your contribution to their life is an asset. The problem with the sinful nature or narcissism is it runs on a hunger. There's a hunger at the start. The person could be running away from all different kinds of issues and hurts and pains inside themselves. They could be running away from an unresolved relationship where they've wrecked it and they haven't applied themselves properly. They've come in with the love bomb and put on a chameleon theatre act only to undo and unravel and ruin the opportunity in that relationship. So we've got an unresolved relationship that's just been shipwrecked, and now they're on to the next one, and they're playing the same attributes out again. Now, with narcissism, it works on a need, specific particular needs. Now, some of these needs could be affectionate, sexual, financial, possibly a place to stay, security, better the devil you know, these types of things. But the narcissist comes in well and then begins to neglect and abuse the kindness and the love and the generosity of the person that they are connected with. It's disintegrating. This is the core of narcissism. It's disintegrating. Everybody's got a right to live out their lives and do what they want to do without manipulation and control in a relationship with love and support and a give, take care and share attitude towards each other. But let me ask you this, what's the point in having an intimate, affectionate, if you can find that, loving relationship when you know that something underneath is missing in the heart of that person towards you? You know. Or you feel that way about the other person. Why are you dragging it on? Because that's devaluing. In the spirit and soul realm, that's devaluing. You're devaluing the essence of the person that you're with. You can go through all the motions. You can be agreeable. You can cause no trouble. You can even go through the motions of intercourse and sex. But if you're really not into the person that you're with, if you're really in sufferance, and it can be evident, why prolong the agony and the suffering? A lot of people have people for convenience. Again, place to stay, financial, sex. But on the other hand, they can't get away from the presence of that person quick enough. There's no, whatever was there at the start, in all the theatre of the love bomb phase, the honeymoon phase, whatever that was, whatever mask that was, whatever was happening in that person at the time, once that disintegrates and the person's being filled with love and intimacy and romance and support, companionship, a lot of people don't know what to do after that. They don't know what do you do. Once they've got what they want, this is how narcissism works. Well, what do you do after that? Well, if you don't know what to do after that, you go into a devalue state. And as the devalue state institutes itself and strengthens itself in undermining the relationship, they come back around, they try and come back around, get back around to the love bomb phase. But it's all theatre. It's just all theatre. And I've had covert female narcissists of all ages, they're all ages, and all appearances and all scenarios and things that have happened to them in life and whatnot. I've tried everything. I've tried all that I've tried. I've tried a lot. to try and find a medium. And I think it's amazing how the different ways in which they create what I'll call illegitimate space. Not legitimate space, that there is space is a blessing in a relationship, space and distance in their right forms. But the covert narcissist, male or female, they're going to make space out of their inability to build a relationship after they've got their supply. Now the supply is not necessarily just sexual, it could be financial, it could be company, it could be a place to stay, it could be coming for goods and services. Once the narc's got what they want, once they've got that supply, they don't know what to do with the relationship after that. They don't know what the substance of the relationship is. And to me, that would be to sit together, to talk, to be close, to rest, to give, take, care and share. No, it's all about the next lot of supply. And you see these people chasing after money. They're always in debt. And the Bible says the borrower is servant to the lender. And how true is that? I've noticed a lot of these women that have been in trouble have had an obsession with money. A terrible obsession where their life is led by the pursuit of money. And that's their choice. That's their choice, but it's a never-ending pursuit. When do you sit down and say to yourself, that's enough? Some people won't, they never will. And these people have inevitably ended up in trouble and being trouble. They've been trouble. And for men, strong masculine men that want to just be a good man for their woman, when you run into these people, after the love bomb stage, you notice there's this devaluing element. They just don't know how to invest intimately and affectionately and as one into a relationship. As I said, there's these massive voids, and these voids you'll be aware of them, and they'll begin to play on your mind. And as you're trying to resolve them as you go along, trying to resolve the voids, resolve, you'll find that you'll begin to hit brick walls. Note the word wall. Instead of being open and running around like a dog chasing a ball or a hamster on a hamster wheel, whatever, now you're running into walls. Walls where the affection's not the same or nil. I've had women where I've had to pick their hand up and put it on my leg and say, look, are we into this or not? Obviously they're not. You have to say to yourself, no, this person's not. Several I've let go. I've just gone, you're not into this. And they've gone, yes, I am. No, they're not. You've got to watch the fruit. And you've got to be brutal, because they'll waste your days. They're using you as an asset for something else. And if you're foolish enough to let that happen, that's on you. Some people aren't affectionate. Well, let them go and be with the unaffectionate. What a horrible life to live. Then you'll have the ones where you've hit the wall and you're identifying things with the person and you're trying to get things in order, And the next thing, they're coming back with the friend's advice. My friends reckon this, my friends reckon that. At that point, it's over. They're listening to the friends. Their friends are going to be in conflict with you. They'll tell you that their friends perceive them on a completely different perspective to what you do, but the friends aren't in the intimate relationship with you, and the friends aren't putting up with the barriers and voids and roadblocks and abuses that you are. So you can't don't engage with these narcs when they're trying to justify their faults through their friends, because the friends are going to validate them, and that validation is going to undermine your reaching out to try and bring results. The friends are going to undermine that. They're going to smack your hand behind the scenes. And this is going to bring you to a point where something's going to come to a head. And for me, if something comes to a head and the fog, the brain fog starts to come in through the covert abuse and narcissism of the other person, and they're not going to say, I'm a narc. They're not going to do that. But if you've got narcissism awareness or simple behavior awareness in the covert category, then you can watch it, and you have to be honest with yourself and go, look at this, and you'll watch it. You'll just watch it. You can be doing the best that you can for these people, and they'll still turn cold, devaluing, and drive you to discarding them. Once the friends things come in and that kind of high school nonsense, that's an automatic discard. And you have to be strong enough to say, well, I observed it, I watched it, and it ended exactly the way that matrix works, via a discard or a reverse discard. And it's all a waste of time. You've been used as a commodity, as some kind of asset for that person. You've suited them in some area or another. And usually when you ask them to go, they'll tell you they love you and that, but that's not true, because they've never said it when they were with you. And that person is not meant for you, and you've come to that point. You have to let them go so they can get on with their life. No point you holding them up. They could find someone that they like and be happier with, and it's the same for you. You have to let them go. Go no contact, leave them alone, let them get on with their life. It hasn't worked out, and then hopefully, as you're doing the right thing by your life, exercising and all your hobbies, and you've tried to do all this with integrity and it hasn't worked, I try and let them go with how I feel and how I saw it, but with dignity. But I never go back, because it's not fair on them and it's not fair on you. But you choose what you choose to do. It's on you. But for me, I never, ever, ever go back.